The Edmonton Oilers continue their 4-game homestand tonight. Game 3 of 4 going down on Hockey Night in Canada. Oilers hosting the Seattle Kraken down at Rogers Place without both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in tough as they actually look for their 9th straight win over the Seattle Kraken. Gonna do it without 97 and 29. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, and Pregaming. You know it. It's a presentation of Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Come on, people. We got no Connor and Leon, but Bordzy's bankroll, we're going to hit that one today. We're leaning on some other people in this one, and I feel pretty good about it. Let's catch up in the chat. Austin didn't get first comment of the day because head coach Chris Knobloch, he's got us on in the room with the boys. He says Jeff Skinner will be on the third line. You guys actually thought he would stay in the top 6, scored 2 goals, so of course he is demoted. Austin's in, says, let's fire up the fucking Nammed Bordzy. Fire up the band, baby. Time to get this train back on the rails. My ON fam, get the likes up. Woo. Beer's cold. Lock and load. Hope will never die. Cup yeah.
Cup yeah.
There it is. Also, Peyton, who is 4 feet away from me, says, let's go. He's also rocking shorts today. Bold strategy, calves. Calf's looking very good. Might have to bring those up on camera. Dylan's in, says, let's go Oilers. Cup here.
Cup here.
Depth needs to show up today. Mr. Burns, no doubt in my mind that this team can get it done, even without McDry. Let's go Oilers. She also knows she forgot it. Cup here.
Cup here.
Kiana's in. We might be down, but definitely not out. We'll rally for Connor and Leon. Cup you.
Cup yeah.
Jeff Skinner, time for me to carry us to the promised land. Let me tell you, Jeff Skinner has been really, really owning his alter ego in the chat recently. He's in every ONE, every pregaming, every After Dark, really committed to pretending to be Jeff Skinner so much at points that Friday ONE, him and Chris Knobloch in the chat were like going at each other about it like they were actually Knobloch and Jeff Skinner. You guys are the best in the chat. That's why I love you all. You can tell by the man on the screen. I'm joined by Pangs, Sean Pang and Eben Panger. It's Pregame with Bordzy. It's Pregaming with Pangsy, who is actually coming on the nation vacation, which is about to go down. And I guess as of midnight tonight, it will be a week away. Panger, you getting excited? You getting those Vegas jitters?
Oh, I'm getting so stoked. Maybe even a little frightened with all the things you're telling me. No, I'm just kidding. I am so stoked. I am super pumped. Great list of people that are coming from Oilers Nation and a bunch of Oilers Nation fans and Oilers fans. I'm really excited.
It's going to be incredible. All I do, I hope and I pray that 97 and 29 are playing in that hockey game, because damn, that would be anticlimactic to bring a plane full of Oilers fan. Now, I'm still going to have a great time. It's still Sin City. I'm still up in the Stella Artois Lounge, but 97 and 29. I pray. I was just asking you guys beforehand, what's your go-to casino game when we're in Vegas? Because we need to build out a strategy. I know Bag Milk, Jay, and Rick, they are all about craps, which I will be honest, I still don't fully understand craps to the nth degree, but it looks like a very fun group gambling activity. So I'm going to learn that one before we go. But Pangs, what's your go-to casino game?
If I had time at the casino, it's poker. Last time I was there, I won a poker tournament at Mandalay Bay. No big deal. But
not a big deal.
But if I were just to kind of hit it and quit it, it'd be craps too. I like craps. Yeah.
He didn't quit it. Got a lot of jokes to make there. Going to continue to power through. For me, I think my hierarchy goes blackjack without a doubt. I can count to 21. That's nice and simple. I can do that. Then roulette, because there's nothing like just everybody at the table vibing out, believing together. And then honorable mention for my third place, we were joking about it beforehand, the plastic ponies that are in every single casino. There's something about them. They are electric. I mentioned it to you guys last time we were in Vegas for the nation vacation. We had like 20 plus Oilers fans all around the plastic ponies, just banging on the glass, screaming at these fake plastic horses, saying, go, get on it, go, go, go. And I cannot wait to do it again. Ryan S. says blackjack, poker, craps here from Lance Kane, who I do believe is also now coming on the nation vacation. Nice. Lance, confirm that with me, because I've been told rumors, but I don't know if that is in fact accurate. He then says, put it all on black, baby. Responsibly do so. Responsibly do so. But people, the story tonight, it's obviously the lack of 97 and 29. No Connor McDavid, no Leon Draisaitl. The health of 97 is pretty much all I have thought about since Thursday night. That and gambling responsibly on college kids in March Madness. Chris Knobloch confirmed that both Oilers players would be out about a week. There was a lot of wording play around there about what it was. Who knows? But you could expect for roughly 7 days. This is quite the adversity for the Edmonton Oilers to have to face here at near the end of the season. Connor McDavid is out confirmed with a lower body injury. We still do not know what Leon Draisaitl's injury is. Just a big fat undisclosed on the injury report when you look at it. Leon missed his first game all season against the Winnipeg Jets Thursday. This will be game number 2. Connor McDavid missed games earlier in the season due to an ankle injury. Also missed 3 games for dummy and Connor Garland, which I still stand by. Both players yesterday underwent imaging, was the wording from Chris Knobloch, which frankly just had me shitting my pants all afternoon long. This is Nobby's quote from yesterday after practice, so this is dated a little. Connor's got a doctor's appointment today, aka yesterday, just to see how long it's going to be, and we're not anticipating him playing for tomorrow for sure. I would say day to day, maybe a week. We'll find out more today. Same kind of timeline for Leon. Won't be back immediately. He'll probably be up to a week. I've heard about a week, up a week, more than a week. Who knows? But you're shooting 4-7 days. Panger, anyway, you look at this. Forgive my language, but this fucking sucks. 13 games to go in the middle of a Pacific Division playoff race. The Oilers, if you look at the standings after what happened earlier today, the Oilers are in 3rd place in the Pacific Division. I will agree, though, I like what Nobby's doing, what the team is doing, being cautious with your superstars. There is no need to rush these guys back from injury. It is the correct approach. McDavid, I mentioned it, already been injured this season. Leon, while he's 1 goal away from 50, health is the number 1 priority, and I do kind of feel like, knock on wood, Rocket Richard pretty close to locked up. The only thing I am worried about is my plus 450 Leon MVP ticket, but he's got enough of a lead on Connor Hellebuyck now. I am concerned, but Panger, no 97, no 29 for the foreseeable future. It's going to be dark times here in Oil Country.
Absolutely. I took David or Leon Draisaitl in the lineup, and just the lineup that he does have. Anton Lander, your number 1 center there. But it's something that we haven't seen in a very long time. And I think it's good for them. Connor McDavid coming back from the 4 Nations. Yeah, look at that. Woof. Coming back from the 4 Nations, Connor McDavid, he was a little bit banged up. And you know what? The Oilers, they're an old team. They're the oldest team in the league. I don't mind it. I don't mind that they're sending out. I think if it was the playoffs, they'd be playing right now. But you know what? Send them out for precautionary reasons, I'd imagine. And, you talked about it. I think it's just a good opportunity for others to step up.
Once again, Leon Draisaitl, I need you to be at your best. We know that he will commit to playing through injury. We've seen it in the playoffs multiple years in a row. Nobby even had a quote saying, if this was a playoff game, you bet your ass Leon Draisaitl would be out there on the ice. That's not a direct quote from Nobby. That's me paraphrasing. He didn't say his ass would be out there, but you just kind of mentioned it there. It is opportunities for everybody. But actually, Pat, can you just pull that lineup back up? Because I want to read through that. Shout out to Waz for this, digging deep into his bag. This one had like 50,000 views on Twitter when I took the screenshot earlier. The Oilers lineup the last time McDavid and Draisaitl weren't available for selection. Taylor Hall with Anton Lander and Jordan Eberle. Not bad. Benoit Pouliot with Derek Roy and Nail Yakupov. The Yak Whisperer that was Derek Roy. Teddy Purcell with Matt Hendricks and Rob Klinkhammer. Oof. That's a name I have not thought of in a very long time. Sportsnet's own Luke Gazdick with Tyler Pitlick and Colin Frazier. And then Klefbom. God, I miss you. With Justin Schultz, Martin Marinson with David Musil. What is Ollie's first name? David Ollie? I can't remember.
Keith Ollie.
Keith Ollie with Brandon Davidson and Ben Scrivens. Shout out to Waz for this because you can't enjoy a sunny day without a couple rainy days. Yes, we don't have Connor. Yes, we don't have Leon tonight, but our lineup does look better than this. So I am feeling vaguely positive about it. Well, you mentioned there opportunities for a number of Edmonton Oilers to step up for the next week here. They can take full advantage of this moment. Everybody's got to step up. It's the all hands on deck approach. You'll be without two of the best players on planet Earth. But the one realm of it is you're also without two of the biggest leaders on this team. Obviously, your captain, Leon Draisaitl, an assistant captain as well. But this team, you mentioned it, they're old. It is a veteran squad. They have plenty of experience, more than enough, you would think, to be able to play with the Seattle Kraken, who are having a, what did I say earlier? Less than mid-season. Might even be able to say bad in that case. Skinner had a quote, Stuart Skinner earlier that was, and he said, this is a confident group regardless of the lineup. We have a shit ton of experience. Nobby mentioned that he's looking for a simpler game from the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, no Connor, no Leon. You're going to have to do things in a different way than you normally would. Different guys will be asked to play different significant roles. Most notably, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I got a feeling Nobby's going to be leaning on him a lot, not just in this game, but for the next week. He's found, Nuge, that is great chemistry with Vasily Podkolzin and Victor Arvidsson. I've been calling them the Island of Misfit Toys recently because all three of them were struggling. You throw all three of them together, and they've kind of trapped lightning in a bottle for a little bit. Nobby mentioned their deployment. It's going to be a lot more frequent in this hockey game. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back to playing first-line center minutes. Back to remind you why he's a number one overall selection back in the day. But this also applies to Adam Henrique. He's going to be playing second-line center with Corey Perry and Zach Hyman. That's a line when Nobby says, I want to play a simple-styled hockey game. Those three to me say down below the goal line, dump and chase, bang bodies, get your cycle game going, pucks on net, traffic in front, that simple game. We'll talk a little bit later when we get in the Oilers lineup about Rico and the less than stellar offensive season he's had this year, but this next week presents a great opportunity for both Nuge, Adam Henrique, and then you go down the lineup, a number of other players. We will talk Jeff Skinner later and why he's demoted because it makes no sense. But thoughts on dudes in different roles tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Opportunity knocks, like you said. And with Paz, RNH, Nuge, Arvidsson, they've been the best, if not one of the best lines for the Oilers the last three games. The last three games, they played together 25 minutes and they produced 3 goals at 5-on-5. So I'm really liking, I want to ask you this. Do you feel that Podkolzin and Arvidsson just feel more at ease playing with not maybe the best player in the world in Leon Draisaitl, but maybe with Nugent-Hopkins? Do you feel they're more comfortable?
You had mentioned this earlier today in a text, and it had me thinking, and I'm like, once again, I don't know. I can only speculate, but to me, I'd say, yeah, no duh. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be nervous to play with Leon Draisaitl. There's the realm that he's having the MVP season. He's running away with the Rocket Richard. There's also a realm of pissy Leon. We have seen that before. And you don't want to be on a guy's bad side like that. There's also the realm of, and for good reason or not, whatever, I would do the same, deferring to Leon Draisaitl in moments where you go, hey, that's what we like from Pods in the beginning of the season, right? Is he was physical, bang bodies, retrieve pucks, much like Warren Fogle last year, gets the puck on stick, find 29 and get that thing off and go to the net, which, yes, works in theory, but we've seen it recently from Pods, ripping pucks more willing. I thought he was awesome Thursday against the Winnipeg Jets. He scored a sick goal against the Utah Hockey Club where Nuge just passes off to him on the rush. Pod says, fuck it, I'm going to rip this puck. So I do agree with you. I think there's a realm of that. And I don't know, Nuge hasn't been the best season offensively, right? But it's kind of picking up at the right time. Shout out to Nobby because he said it several games ago. We're going to commit to playing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at center. Now, when he said that, he thought he meant 3C. What do you know? Life comes at you fast, baby. And he's now going to be playing first-line center minutes. But I have all the confidence in the world that RNH is going to be able to do that. Rico, I do, but I'm definitely more hesitant because what you mentioned, he doesn't have a point in his last 10 games.
10 games.
Bet365 wasn't even offering it earlier, so I am going to take a look when we get closer to game time. I could sprinkle on some Rico. But speaking of dudes in new roles as well, you got no Connor, you got no Leon. You know what's going to look vastly different? The Edmonton Oilers power play this evening. It means Jeff Skinner and we do believe Victor Arvidsson will be playing on power play 1. with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman, and Evan Bouchard. So only look at power play 1 on this one, because we have another tweet with Bar where he corrected himself. But your top unit, Evan Bouchard, go back to the other one, Pat. Bouchard, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jeff Skinner, Victor Arvidsson, and Zachary Martin Hyman. So Jeff Skinner, he scored 2 goals in the last game. They were beautiful. Ripped one home on Connor Hellebuck. How you doing? And then the other one just getting into a dangerous area. Jeff Skinner was on the power play in the last game, sitting in Leon Draisaitl's spot, looked at home in his office, and now you bring in Victor Arvidsson, who not even close to comparing him to number 97 or anything like that, but a guy who has plenty of experience playing on top power play units, has scored 30 goals twice in his career before. And then you get a look at power play 2. Shout out, Pat, my boy. Nice. Doing a great job. Second unit, Corey Perry with Adam Henrique, Connor Brown, Darnell Nurse with Matthias Ekholm. Brought in his tweet that Jake Wollman was also taking shifts out there for power play 2, so you could see Nurse or Wollman get swapped out there. Who really knows? But Panger, Oilers power play has been pretty damn good lately. I would say pretty consistent. But you got to look at power play 1. Where's your confidence level going into there? I think it's going to be running through 93 and number 2, getting all the touches. If you were looking to bet on a power play point tonight on Bet365, where it's never ordinary, I'd be chasing down 93 and number 2. But thoughts on these new look Edmonton Oilers power plays?
Yeah, when you got Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, you gotta take out a little bit of that creativity. So I think with this unit, you got to keep it simple. So I think Nugent-Hopkins, they're going to drop the puck to Nugent-Hopkins. He'll carry it in, he'll set it up. And like you said, a lot of the play will run. They need to keep it simple. And I think a lot of the play will run through number 2. Nugent-Hopkins set up on the side there. Feed Bouchard the one-timers. And I think with Arvidsson on his off wing, that guy takes one-timers from absolutely anywhere. Give him that shot on that PP1, and then you have Zach Hyman doing the dirty work in there. So keep it simple.
I like the strategy. I do think, 93 becomes 97, 33 becomes 93, yep. 53 is 29, and you can kind of, you'll never be running the same unit if you don't have 97 and 29, but I do have confidence in this group. Also, Seattle Hockey, they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest team out there, so we can have some confidence. I mentioned earlier there that Waz had that tweet of the Oilers lined the last time without 97 and 29. But speaking of Waz, clap it up, boys, because Derek Ryan is back with the Edmonton Oilers.
Your turn.
They said we'd never be here. They said we'd never do it again. He has not played an NHL game since January. He's expected to set into the 4th line between Maximum Jones and Kasperi Cheeks Clappin. And Nobby mentioned today how there's a quote in here, Pat. I had it somewhere in the back of Nobby talking about the roster and how they are set with their 12 forwards and how they can't be making up any call-ups with the way that the roster currently is, the way the salary cap currently holds them. Here it is. We have our 12 forwards, and right now we cannot call up anybody unless it's an emergency basis. Just with the salary cap, right now, we have our players right now, and we don't have the option right now to call up anybody. Nobby, he's got crutch words in there, and it's right now because he said it 3 separate times in 2 sentences. But that's why we're seeing a DR10 in the lineup. I know a lot of people, Tyler Yaremchuk specifically, saying, I better be seeing Matt Savoy be called up into this big club lineup. I would assume that is the reason why we have not seen it. But DR10, happy to have him back. We did talk how the Oilers are down 2 leaders. Say what you want about DR10, but he is a leader on this team, whether you like it or not. I don't think the numbers are related. Sorry, excuse me. But the Oilers did fall apart the moment that Derek Ryan was sent down to the AHL Bakersfield Condors. And DR, he's solid on the PK. The one thing that he always brings to this team is he's solid on the faceoff dot. I believe Coombsy said last game he's this season 60% in the dot. So we will welcome that. The 4C role for the Edmonton Oilers. It's been a little bit of everything lately. Kasperi Kapanen and Matthias Janmark, or just Connor and Leon being double shifted repeatedly. Thoughts on DR10? I don't even expect double-digit minutes in this hockey game. Who knows? Maybe have some good shifts on the power play, win some big draws, and hopefully Waz can take a victory lap later tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned it, with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, that's a huge amount of leadership out of the lineup. And Derek Ryan, 38 years old, he's just been a story of resilience his entire career. Started his career late, like 25, 26, played at U of A, in Austria, in Sweden, and then made his way to the AHL, then was a regular for about 10 years in the NHL. So for him to come back, playing in the NHL, and now he's back, he's going to bring leadership into the room. And one thing that he did say in his interview when he came, he's like, all the boys welcomed me with open arms. They were shaking my hand. They were hugging me all the way from the top to Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins. I think this locker room sees DR10, Derek Ryan, as maybe like a big brother figure, and is going to provide that leadership tonight.
Papa Ryan. It's simply Papa Ryan. Sometimes you need a dad. You need a dad of the group. We got Pat. That's mine. Anytime I need anything done with like man hands and stuff, Pat's my first call. He was fixing furnaces for Dan before he even got hired here. Shout out, Pat.
Yeah,
Shout out, Pat. Twice. The dad of Oilers Nation. Final thing, the game tonight, taking on the Seattle Kraken. They sit well out of a playoff spot in the Western Conference. They're on pace to finish with less points than they even did last year. Dude, every time I think about the Kraken, they just seem miles away from the team that went to the second round of the NHL playoffs in 2022-23 season. They're in the bottom third of basically every major statistical category, despite they rank 14th in goals per game in the NHL. But they don't really have any serious offensive threats, right? It's just there's some good depth in there, but I'd say the top end talent not necessarily there. Eli Tolvanen leads the team in goals with 21. He's the only player to be above 20 goals this season. They rank 23rd in goals against. Joey Decord has been very good this season. He has a .908 save percentage on the year. Philip Grubauer, the other goaltender, in 24 games, .873 save percentage. So fair to say he is not having the best season possible. We do expect that is Joey Decord. I don't know if that's actually been confirmed yet. But Panger, the Oilers do have a track record and a history of playing down to their opponents. They even tend to do that with 97 and 29 out on the ice. So I think there's a level tonight. Buttholes be clenched is basically what I'm trying to say. The boys, I think, are nervous. They're aware they're going to have to do this all on their own backs. They're aware of their affinity for playing down to the opponents. And I say it all the time, but you cannot be taking this team lightly with the history of the Oilers this season.
Absolutely. I feel, though, tonight's a little bit different.
That's the butthole.
My sphincter is tight. You know what? Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. I think tonight will be a little bit different, though. I think with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, I could say that likely all of the Oilers depth players and the secondary scorers can say they haven't had the seasons that they've wanted. However, this little stretch, they can prove to the Oilers, the NHL, that, hey, they can still contribute too, and this isn't just a two-man team. So I think tonight will be a huge test, and I do think they do rise to the occasion. Nugent Hopkins, Zach Hyman, Jeff Skinner, Adam Henrique, Victor Arvidsson, I think they're going to play good tonight.
There's no greater motivator than fear. And I would think that the boys are scared to see what life is like without 97 and 29. Also, timeout, because I totally did see this the other day. Maynard. So who smeared caca on the Gretzky statue? Did you guys see that? Did you see that? Somebody smeared shit all over the Wayne Gretzky statue.
On the floor too, as I was walking out of the game, the other, like,
you want to turn his mic up?
The other side, I was literally walking out and I saw poop too.
Dude,
just poop everywhere.
Like,
don't do that.
If that was you,
don't do that.
I got a problem with you, and you deserve to be smeared in poop, covered in poop. That's absolute, forgive the pun, but dog shit. I don't give a fuck what your political.
Yeah.
I don't care what anything is. He's an Edmonton Oiler, once an Oiler, always an Oiler. He's the great one for a reason. Do not disrespect my boy like that.
Yeah.
Also, then my brain had the thought, and I was like, so like, they just have like a bucket of shit that like they put, and then like you just bring it out. Like, what's the transport level of? I'm sorry if everybody has weak stomachs out here, but these are the discussions you're gonna get on pregaming. How did the shit get there?
Oh yeah,
asking the real questions here, people. Let's go now to our need to know information, courtesy of a Willock beef jerky. because only the finest tasting meat products earn the sweet, sweet Wilhauk name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more info, head to WilhaukBeefJerky.com. All right, standings watch. Da-na-na, da-na-na. And I regret to inform you that the Edmonton Oilers now sit third place in the Pacific Division, 3 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights. So there you see it. Oilers and Kings tied each with 85 points. The Oil 3 back of Vegas. Vegas has a game in hand over the Edmonton Oilers. The Kings tied with the Oil, and I believe they now have 1 game in hand over the Edmonton Oilers. They sit in the 2 seed. Vegas hosts the Detroit Red Wings tonight, while LA, you guys keep the theme here, just shit all over the Carolina Hurricanes earlier today by a score of 7-2. So there you go, Pacific Division. We're scoreboard watching very frequently, I will say right now. No McDavid, no Leon. This is only the 2nd game for Leon this season and the 7th game missed by Connor McDavid. But get this, only 4 players on the Edmonton Oilers have played in every single game this season. Evan Bouchard, Connor Brown, Vasily Podkolzin, and Brett Kulak. Of course, Brett Kulak. He has yet to miss a single game in his Edmonton Oilers career, in his Oilers tenure. This, knock on wood, if he finished the season out strong, could be the 3rd straight year that he has played all 82 games. Brett Kulak now owns the 12th longest active games played streak in the NHL, right now at 251 consecutive games. I say it all the time, but he's Mr. Underrated, Mr. Underappreciated, except by your boy, of course. Shout out Brett Kulak. Oil looking for their 9th straight victory over the Kraken. Yeah, you heard that right. 9th straight victory. They beat Seattle 4-2 back on January 4th. And then they beat them again 4-2 on January 25th. They'll play tonight one more time again this season, closing out the season series next Thursday when we're at Greta pre-gaming with What Chaos as they come down to Edmonton. I was texting with DJ Bean earlier today, and he said, I've been saying my prayers every night for Connor and Leon to get back. Great timing, Pat. We can do an ad read right here. Come on. March 27th, come on down to Greta, Oilers Nation. What Chaos, presented by Fountain Tire. Live at Greta. We're going to be pre-gaming with them. They're hosting the event. I'm hosting a beer pong tournament in the back. Thursday's basically Friday. Get your ass down to Greta because this one's going to be awesome. And then finally need to know Stuart Skinner expected to get the start. He was yanked from Thursday's game with just under 5 minutes left. Pulled out by the concussion spotters. Stu looked pretty pissed off about being taken out of that game, but he is good to go tonight. There you get a look at the head-to-head, the team comparison between the Oilers and Kraken. Boys, clap it up because this does not come very often, where all 4 categories are in a nice gold and yellow for the Edmonton Oilers. They lead them in goals for, goals against, power play, and even PK percentage. Granted, it's by 0.4, but we will take whatever victory we can get. The Kraken 30, 35, and 5 on the season. 7th in the Pacific Division in their last 10. They are 5, 4, and 1. They're also in the midst of a 4-game roadie. They beat Chicago 6-2 on Tuesday. They got whomped 4-0 by the Minnesota Wild on Thursday. They take on the Oil tonight, and then they will be in Calgary on Tuesday. You go through their team, go to their point totals, and their leading scorer is Chandler Stevenson, who has 48 points in 69 games played. Nice. I would say nice, nope. But that's not a very nice point total. Nope. He only has 11 goals. I'd say bright spots. Shane Wright is really starting to find his game here, becoming the player that I think everybody thought he would be. It always makes me laugh that it's like shocker, the really young guy that's had the pressure of the world on him didn't do it immediately when he was, 20, 21, whatever. Give him a couple years, give him some seasons. Starting to see the Shane Wright that I expected. And then finally, we expect Joey Decord to get the start. I believe, let me pull up my cell phone. He's 23, 18, and 4, 267 goals against, 908 save percentage. He won his last start against the Blackhawks, stopping 27 of 29 for a 931 save percentage. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford, a giant storyline. brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. They got free valet service for all Oilers Nation fans. Never visit the dealership again for car service. You get an exclusive swag package with every Nation valet service booked online. You get automatically entered to win a monthly prize draw. Come on now, people. I say it all the time. Their valet service, it's incredible. They will come to your work. They will come to your home. They will pick up your vehicle. They will drive it to the dealership. They will do whatever service you need to be done. Then they will drive that bad boy back to you. You could be at work all day, not lift anything. The only thing you have to lift is throwing them your car keys, and then they bring it back to you at the end of the day. Sherwood Ford, the Giant, for a reason. Throw in your storylines. Throw in a key to victory if you got one. Shocker that my storyline tonight, Thursday, was life without Leon. Oh, let's just add a couple words. Life without Leon and Connor McDavid. Who's going to step up in their absence? I mentioned it, but my storyline, and really, dude, it could even be my key to victory, I think, is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think this is his opportunity to show that he is the jack of all trades, master of none thing that we talk about all the time. He's been a top six winger. He's been a third line center. Now he's going to be asked to shoulder the main minutes of this team and be a play driver down the middle of the ice for the Oilers, not just tonight. But this applies Dallas Stars on Wednesday, the Seattle Kraken again next Thursday. Maybe, but hopefully not, against the Calgary Flames next Saturday for the BOA. Look at that schedule there, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, that line in general, Victor Arvidsson and Vasily Podkolzin, they've looked very good. They're starting to find their chemistry, but that's in a depth role. Now, this is different when you're going to be getting the top matchups, the top defenders from the Seattle Kraken out there shift after shift. The Oilers do have last change because they are on home ice, so maybe you can cherry pick some matchups out there, but my storyline is no Connor, no Leon, and my key to victory is 93. What about you?
I'm going to say my key to victory is Jeff Skinner. He's on the third line tonight, and I think he's on the third line with Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown, and obviously he's going to be the straw that stirs the drink on that line. He's coming off a 2-goal effort, and right now, I looked it up earlier, Jeff Skinner is 130th all-time in most regular season goals scored. 130th all time. The guy knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. And I said, if you read my stuff at Oilersnation.com, I said throughout the season, he's going to heat up down the stretch. We're seeing that now. I feel we're going to continue to see it. And I think he's going to be a beauty for the Oilers in the playoffs. So tonight, my guy is Jeff Skinner.
That's a good point, right? Because Jeff Skinner scored 2 huge goals on Thursday. Rips the one over Hellebuck's shoulder. How you doing? I'll say that again. Then the other one getting in a dangerous area, reading off Connor McDavid. We all joked. Score 2 goals. Is he going to get double scratched? Will it counteract? Whatever. But here he is, demoted to the third line. He's not health bombed, but he's demoted to the third line to play with Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. Forgive my language, but what the fuck is going on? We're without 97 and without 29. You would think you need to lean on other players for goal scoring. May I remind you once again, he just scored 2 goals in the last hockey game. Nobby, I love you. I'm just venting and I'm confused here. You're going to put him with the 2 black holes offensively in Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. Jeff Skinner will still get his opportunities on the power play to play with the big dogs, but he scores his first multi-goal game all season, and you're making him play with Matthias Janmark. It just makes no sense to me. I'm incredibly frustrated by it. Once again, shout out to Jeff Skinner because he's been positive all season. He's got that patented Skinner smile. It is absolutely adorable, brother.
He's cute.
He's cute for a dude that's way older than me.
Banana fella at the same time. I don't know what that means.
That's a sign. That's a sign. I just realized Rick's face is also back there. Holy cow. But credit to Skinner because he's been productive, right? He scored goals. He hasn't complained. He's adapted his game. He's changed his game. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Turns out you can here with Jeff Skinner, but no matter what role he's been in, he's been productive. He's been consistent. He's been ripping pucks. So I do believe in him that he can get it done tonight with Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. Panger, that is just a move I would never do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when I think about every time Jeff Skinner gets demoted, I think about Bag Milk's tweet. One time he said, "It's your sideburns." Because who knows sideburns? Who knows what it is? But like you said, with Jeff Skinner, any role that the coaching staff have given him, whether it's second, third, fourth line or in press box, he's done whatever has asked of him. And he's shored up his defensive game too. I mean, before the Four Nations break, do you remember that hard back check against Detroit, like offensive zone, broke up a 2-on-1? That shows to me that he's willing to do whatever it takes to contribute to this team. And we're seeing him step up offensively too. So who knows what it is, but Jeff Skinner, he's going to be my boy down the stretch, putting out some big points for the Oilers.
Yeah, let's go. Jeff himself says I can get it done with whoever, but this is dumb as hell. There you see it on the season, 59 games, 13 goals, 10 assists, 12:28 time on ice. He played 17 minutes in the last hockey game, which is something I never thought I'd see. Peyton, also 2 feet away from me, says this will age horribly. You also spell horribly because that's not how you do that. You coming at me right now? Coming at me with grammar like that? He says Janmark will score tonight. The Iron Duke says I'd switch him in pairs. I think that was a lot of what most Oilers fans thought was going to happen. In every article that was kind of written, it was like, okay, Skinner's look good with Hyman in 97. You just throw Henrique in that role, see if he can pick up where they left off. But it's going to be Corey Perry, which once again, this isn't a Corey Perry thing. No. This is just you're down your 2 biggest offensive threats. The other guy, and Jeff Skinner, who has been a career offensive threat, is starting to look like that threat. And you're going to put him next to Matthias Janmark, the guy that can't do anything with his hands offensively right now. Because somebody also said, David, black holes so far, Bordzy. So once again, we do talk a lot of shit on pregaming, and sometimes I do jinx some things. So maybe do your own research here. I'm just doing this. So Matthias Janmark will score a goal. Naomi, yeah, Jeff be on fire. RN, let's let him slay. Y'all's queen. Y'all's queen. I mentioned Ryan Nugent-Hopkins going to be leaned on heavily, but that applies to Rico. So on the season, it's no secret, he has struggled mightily offensively. Rico has 8 goals and 9 assists for 17 points. 17 points in 68 games played this season. That is just simply not good enough, whatever way you cut it, right? Last year, he recorded 24 goals and 51 points combined between the Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. And Rico, since joining the Oilers, has been asked to play a much different role than he has for much of his career. Because for the Devils, for the Ducks, he was a top 6 winger. He was a top 6 center. He was getting top power play minutes as well. He's been asked to do a lot different. He's been asked to be your stereotypical third-line shutdown center, not playing with guys with the most offensive capabilities. I believe in him that he has the ability to do this. We know this. He scored 51 points last season, and I think tonight, and once again this next week, is a great opportunity for Rico to get some of that offensive juju coming back his way. You brought it up to me, but Rico hasn't recorded a point in 10 straight games. There's a look at it there, 68 games. 8 goals, 9 assists, 14-16 time on ice. And I'm not saying Rico's been bad this season by any degree, because he has been that good shutdown third-line center. He's been solid on the PK. He just has not put up nearly what you would expect when the Oilers re-signed him. Confidence level in Rico going into this one, because he's playing with Hyman. He's playing with Perry. Like I said earlier, Nobby mentioned wanting to play simple. I think this line could be the definition of that.
Yeah, while Henrique may lead the team, the Oilers, in good looks per 60 minutes, he's had kind of a lackluster offensive season. But actually, I think earlier in the year, he played with Perry and Hyman, and they had, I think, I was on pregaming with you.
Yeah, it was when they were on the third line.
Yeah, they were on the third line, and they had some really good offensive zone time. They cycled well. So I think with them, they're all relatively about kind of the same speed, maybe Zach Hyman being the fastest out of the three of them. But I think they think alike. So I think with they're going to get some good cycles tonight. I think Perry will take the puck hard to the net. And Rico, one thing with his game is he's really good in and around the net, and where he makes his bread and butter is just like tips and whacks and secondary chances. So I think tonight will be a good night for him.
Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping. I'm trying to look here on Bet365. Have they added him yet for anything? No, they haven't. Well, Bet365. I want to be able to wager on Rico because I felt good about a Rico point tonight. Yeah. Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking into existence. This is a good opportunity for him, but don't worry, Bordzy's bankroll will be coming up shortly here. We'll get to it. The one that I mentioned, Pat, if you throw up the D pairings again, I see Tony Broard just did confirm the lines for for the Edmonton Oilers. It's Ekholm with Boosh, Darnell Nurse with Jake Wall. Emerson will now set out his third straight game in a row. Kulak with Stetch. Once again, so let's go positively here first for Troy Stecher, because you mentioned before the show here, you've liked what you've seen from Troy Stecher lately. I feel like with him, you just know what you're going to get. Efforts on 110 every single time. HDMH, height does not measure heart. Pretty sure he's playing with a broken nose right now as well. So shout out to Stetch. What have you thought of him in these last couple games?
I actually think Troy Stecher has been underratedly very good at playoffs, and he's elevated his game like so much as far as when he's carrying the puck, he's deking guys out, he's sidestepping, he's faking, and he's getting pucks on net. And like you said, I mean, for what we know with Troy Stecher, his battle level is 110% always. We're getting that battle level from him. So I really like what we're seeing from Troy Stecher lately.
Are we having some internet issues? Somebody said that we're cutting out hard, guys. I also see it's kind of on mine. Yeah, really choppy tonight, guys. We'll try and figure out the internet. I'll try and do the best that I can, but shout out to that. We'll keep her going. I appreciate you guys letting us know. Southpaw, I made my bets at work this morning. One of them was for a Rico goal plus 425. Some people asked, what is up with Ty Emerson right now? We don't know. I haven't heard anything. He was taking the fourth pairing rotation, you could say, with John Klingberg at practice yesterday. So he's out there on the ice. I think he's fine physically. And once again, Nobby has had an affinity for, he never likes guys sitting out of the lineup for too long. That was most notably been Troy Stecher. Like it's been he sits out for 2 weeks and then he comes in at a point. So it has surprised me that Emerson has not come back into the lineup. Said to you guys before, I'm also not complaining about this in any degree, way, shape, or form, because I got a tattoo bet that I'm trying to win. And Ty Emerson, you sitting up in the press box, can't eat me pucks from up there. So I do like that. Lance Kane, it looks better to me right now for the connection. We're in the River Valley. You know the peaks and valleys that goes down, but we do have a super chat in here. Reminder, all your super chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause incredibly near, incredibly dear, and it's Lance Kane. He says, jiggle the cord. Look at that. It worked, dude.
I did it. I think it worked.
You know what, Lance? You're hired. We could use you over here. We could use brains like that. Crippled zombie, kick the motor. The classic, I can tell you, I've done a lot of live production in my life. A lot of like on location, live sports games, these things. Turn it off, turn it back on. I can't tell you, 98% of the time, you just turn it off, you turn it back on. You power cycle, and people are like, wow, Bordzy, you fixed that? Like, yeah, totally, dude. I'm incredibly smart, so I think pay me the big bucks. Let's go now. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood, Power Sports, and Marine. The Edmonton Boat and Sportsman Show still going on right now. Power Sports and Marine, you know them. They got a booth out there. The boys did Oilers Nation every day live from a boat the other day. So that was pretty cool. Looked like a great time. Also, shout out Sherwood Ford. I think they might have some stuff going down there as well. Come on, it's almost summer. Feels like spring. We're definitely still going to get one more dump of snow, probably two more dumps of snow, April, May. You know it's coming, but hey, get on top of it early. We talked about how May Long's coming up and how basically Power Sports Marine, the 2 weeks leading up to May Long, they have like a 90,000 liter test pool in the back for servicing boats. They said it is just fucked of the amount of boats that they got to do. So if you don't want to be in that lot, you could also go to Power Sports Marine, get your boat serviced. And if you're going to do that, you have to let me know that you have a boat so we can then become best friends this summer, because I am in the market for friends with boats. I'm on a boat. Yeah, I'm going fast and I gotta know. Nope, don't do that, Bordzy, because I would have done the entire thing. Let's take a look here at the tail of the tape, the head-to-head between the two goaltenders this evening. Joey DeCorp, 23, 18, and 4 record, 267 goals against, 909 save percentage. With 1 shutout on the season. Soft. Stuart Skinner, 23, 17, and 4, 285 goals against, 896 save percentage. Some might call that soft. And 2.5 shutouts on the year, because Stu loves getting yanked out of hockey games. It happened on Thursday. Banged up against Winnipeg. I honestly didn't I didn't think it was that crazy of a play or anything that happened, but that's why concussion spotters exist. It is 2025. We know that brains are valuable, so I totally understand why it happened. I do love the competitor that is Stuart Skinner, being pissed, wanting to get back there in the game. Really, it was a tough spot to put Calvin Pickard in. Here's 5 pucks from Pods. Okay, now go face the best team in the NHL all season. But Stu, he's back in this one. I think he's been much better late, regardless of what the numbers will say in the box score. That's also due to the fact that he was really shitty about 3 weeks ago. I think it's starting to come up here. I'm confident against the Seattle Kraken team. Goal support might be tough tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, so we do need our best version of Stu.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you remember earlier in the season when Darnell Nurse got hit in the noggin a little bit and he came back like really good. Maybe.
Come on.
Come on, Stewie. Hoping for you to.
Knock some sense in him. There you go.
Yeah, like you said, I think he's been playing a lot better. And the Oilers need that down the stretch. Stewie Skins, hope you have a really good game tonight. Fingers crossed.
Mr. Burns, I believe in Stu. Bosch also said Pods was the best guy for the Pickard warm-up since he would definitely not miss the goalie. Right in the chest, right in the chest, right in the chest, right in the
That's
chest.
good.
Yanmark trying to rain on my parade says the Golden Knights are winning again tonight. Stop that. And then you also stop that. Yanmark's going to score. No, I hope he does. Maybe we'll sprinkle. Just a bit. Joey DeCord, the other guy there, he's having a very good season. I mentioned 908 save percentage, doing it, backstopping a team that hasn't been great defensively all season. So that is quite impressive. He was rewarded with a 5-year, $25 million deal. Here's to hoping it's not the same result as Jack Campbell. Shout out to him for that. But yeah, DeCord, pretty good season so far. Oil will be in tough, but definitely a beatable goaltender. Joey DeCord was on What Chaos earlier this year. Shout out to our boys. Also, not too man enough to admit it. Guy's pretty handsome. Guy's pretty jacked underneath there as well. I learned that from What Chaos.
Okay.
Asking the real questions once again. I can only tell we pregame with What Chaos, and I don't know if there's going to be any actual X's and O's talk on that show. It's going to be all over the place. But let's go now to the Seattle Kraken lineup, brought to you by Greta Bar-Yeg. Speaking of What Chaos, people, we're going to be there Thursday upcoming as we take on the Seattle Kraken for that hockey game as well. Come on down. Tickets are $15, nationgear.ca in support of Ben Stelter, I believe, presented by Fountain Tire. Going to be an awesome one. So again, pretty sure beer pong tournament in the back now that they have the new beer pong game back there. And yours truly will be hosting that one. Got March Madness. I got brackets on the brain right now. I think we might be building a bracket and doing it during intermissions and whatnot. So come on out. It's going to be an awesome time. If you can't come on the nation vacation, but you want to party with the crew, I highly, highly recommend this as we gear up for the playoffs and I'm officially move into Greta. Need them to bring that bed back because really use that one. Pull it up for me here. Patrick Puff, the projected roster for the Kraken. Top line, Jaden Schwartz with Matty Beniers and Capo Caco. And it's Eli Tolvanen who leads the Kraken in goals with Jared McCann and Jordan Eberle, the captain. Yanni Nyman with Shane Wright and Andre Burakovsky. Ty Karche with John Hayden and Michael Esimont. Deep pairings, Vince Dunn with Adam Larson. I'll always love you. Jamie Alexiak with Brandon Montour. Cale Fleury with Riker Evans. So as I mentioned earlier, right, Eli Tolvanen leads this team in goals with 21. Nobody else has hit the 20-goal mark this season for the Kraken. You look at them offensively, there's some good players in there. Like, I don't want this to come across like I'm shit talking the Kraken. There's just none of that elite top-level guys that kind of put the fear in you. Shane Wright starting to find his game. The back half of the season, he's been way, way better. Then you look at a guy like Matty Beniers, who won Rookie of the Year a couple of seasons ago, right? So far this season, 17 goals, 21 points, 38 points in 70 games. Yeah. That's really not the trajectory that we thought we were going to see from a guy like this. Pat, pull it up again one more time. Panger, if you had to pick, who would be your player to watch in this forward group tonight?
It would be the guy that you're actually just talking about, Matty Beniers. Yeah. He signed a big contract in the offseason, I think for like $7 million a year. And the thing with him, he's first line center tonight. He's not having to play a Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. He's going up against a 31-year-old Nugent Hopkins. So I think Matty Beniers, if he can elevate his game, I think tonight would be this lineup against the Oilers.
I see some people in the chat who said it right here. He feels it. Your new stepdad, Jordan Eberle, scoring tonight. I can feel it in my diaphragm. All right. Jordan Eberle to score a goal is plus 300. We're going to get a revenge goal. Yeah. I can totally see that happening here. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to bet it. And then Adam Larson plus 1,400 to score a goal tonight. What does Larson have on the season so far?
2 games ago. He got like a goal in the season.
He's got 6 goals on the season. I'm not going to do it, but I could definitely see that happening for me if I had to pick a player to watch. I'm going to go with Shane Wright. Rounding into form here. I think there's a lot more confidence in him from the coaching staff. Once again, this is all what I read online. Haven't watched a ton of Seattle Kraken hockey games this season. I'll be fully transparent. And then, of course, Vince Dunn. He's a threat on the back end. He's a sneaky good player, but a couple minutes remain. Let's do it. Let's talk some bets. Let's do Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365, where, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Breaking news from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, and penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Bet365 is an official partner of the NHL. Download the app. Use the code NATION. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. All right. Here's our 3 options, people. We're riding with the Nuge, and we're doing it with shots on goal. Plus 165 to get 3 of those bad boys. He's hit this in each of his last 2 games when he's been playing the center role, been more of a play driver, and the minutes he's going to be playing in this hockey game has me thinking he'll be ripping pucks. Once again, I'm a little scared he might be a facilitator, but I think that Nuge knows he's going to have to be that play driver, like I just said, taking the puck down the middle of the ice, taking it to dangerous areas. The next one, it's not Brett Kulak blocking shots. It's Darnell Nurse to get over 1.5 block shots. It's minus, so I actually think it's minus 165. I think I did a bad, Bordzy do bad on there. It's minus 165. But I couldn't even believe this when I looked it up. Darnell Nurse has hit this line in 11 straight hockey games. He has at least 2 block shots in 11 straight games, 28 of them over that stretch. Brett and I picked Kulak and Emerson, while Jake Wallman is doing great, and Darnell Nurse would be running away with this if we were doing it, if one of us had him. And then the final one, just a simple boost point. Doesn't need to be on the power play, doesn't need to be anywhere. It's minus 190. I think he's going to be playing a shit ton. He's going to be leaned on to be more offensive, to be carrying the puck a little bit more out there. Pat, I love you. Shout out to you. Minus 165 for Darnell in there. Then he's been getting touches on the power play. I was thinking about just doing boost power play points, but I don't know. Without 29, without 97, I'm not confident enough because I don't know what it's going to look like. So I decided I would pun down on this one. Just go for 1+ point. You parlay all 3 of these together, and it is plus 525. So we do got some juice. Panger, which of these 3 bets do you like the most?
Honestly, I think all 3 of them are good, but I would go with the Darnell Nurse 1.5 block shots. I think he has a little bit of redemption in him from last game.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to be eating pucks anywhere on his body, so I think the middle one with Darnell Nurse there.
Naomi says Nurse all the way. Let's go. Jake Wallman says bet on me to get 6+ blocks. Yeah, that's fair. Now, if I were to look at that, can you actually do that? You can do 5. For Jake Wallman would be plus 850. Do we dare? No, but Wallman, since joining this team, dude, he eats pucks. It's insane. It's insane. We've added a wrinkle to the tattoo bet that if Jake Wallman in way less games passes both Emby and Kulak and block shots, Brett and I will both get tattooed. And he's not very far away from Ty Emerson right now. I'm pretty sure he's 4 or 5 back from Ty Emerson as of this moment.
That's good.
And Emby's not getting into the lineup anytime soon. So Brett says all he's thinking now, he's kind of giving up hope, is he's just hoping for Jake Wallman to pass Brett Kulak so that therefore we'll have to get matching tattoos. Anybody else? Oh, the beer light, the goal light's telling us 5 minutes until the game will start. Lance Kane says he's locked in. Pat, you got any bets that you're throwing down on? Or if you don't, which of these 3 do you like the most?
I haven't really looked into it today, but I really do like the nurse over on the blocks just because, like you said, it's been happening a lot. And he's kind of been stepping up with, I don't know, with the introduction of Jake Wallman, it kind of feels like maybe a weight off of Nurse, and he's kind of just been playing freely. So I like that. But I mean, you got to go Boosh point with with the big guns out. It's going to happen.
Here's to hoping. Here's to praying. Yeah, a couple people in here. Lance, thanks for the update on your evening plans tonight. You guys see that one there?
Nice.
Shout out. That sounds awesome, dude. That sounds awesome. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm jealous. Maynard says, bet on me to be drunk for After Dark. There you go. We can always bet on that, boys, before we head out. Score predictions anytime a goal scores. Wait, Peyton, do you have a bet as well? Maybe I can give it, if you need a minute or so. Do you have one?
No, I have one. Yeah, Mark, anytime goal.
You had to have seen that coming.
I didn't realize we're just wasting people's time now. I didn't realize.
I'm 1 for 5 right now. 2 for 5 after this game. Yeah, Mark's scoring tonight. 100%.
I'll sprinkle. I'll sprinkle.
Do it, yes.
I'll sprinkle. I'll sprinkle. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll ride with you.
Yes.
For the fun of the game. Sports are supposed to be fun. I don't want to hate on Matthias Janmark all the time.
No,
I love it.
It's not going to be a wrist shot. It's just going to go off his ass.
No, I said if he gets another breakaway, he has to Gaetan Haas it. Clap bomb from the blue line. Don't care. Just get a puck on net. Maybe get your own rebound. I don't know. All right, we'll roll with that. Panger, score prediction, anytime goal scorer.
4-2 Oilers, anytime goal scorer. Let's go with Jeff Skinner.
Pat, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to say 5-2, but I like 4-2 just because, big guns are out, and I'm going to go Zach Hyman.
Placed. Matthias Janmark plus 700 to score a goal tonight. You got to believe, baby. You got to believe. For me, I'm going to say 5-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. Can't even predict yet. Might score a goal because that's crazy. I'm going to go Zachary Martin Hyman. He's been hot lately. Maybe Rico can feed him a puck there, get there. But Zach Hyman looking for a goal from him. All right, that'll do it for us for Pregaming with Bordzy. We'll be live right here for Oilers Nation After Dark. Might do it without Lance Kane because he's going to be having a hell of an evening. Let me know how that one goes, Lance. But I love you all. I appreciate you all. Throw down your courtesy like right now. Move your thumb over. Move your mouse over. There it is. Thank you. Not asking a lot here. Make sure you subscribe to the ON YouTube channel. And then we'll be live right here, right after the game, breaking down what we hope is an Edmonton Oilers W. That's Sean Paganeben, producer Patrick Puff, behind the scenes, intern Peyton Schwartz. And I'm your host, Bordzy. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Peace out. Talk later.